please. You know, I'm just not in much of a mood for it to just keep ending and stopping like that. Okay. Okay. All right. So, it's time for the Madden playoff series, or rather playoff season, playoff series, season 6, semifinals. That's about a mouthful to say. But hey, it's great to be back, and I had a nice time at the gym and had a nice meal. But it's time now. I also understand that there are other people um, at this moment doing other shows, and that's great. I mean that is great and everything. I really do enjoy that. But with all that said, this is just the last step before we get to the Super Bowl. Brandon Johnson, did I download your character in 2K19? I have not. Mainly for the fact that I don't have your hashtags. Like, what's your hashtag? Um, and plus, I also have to take some people out in order to bring you in. So, but yeah, the only thing I don't have is a hashtag. Otherwise, I won't be able to find your character. Oh, I see you. Okay. Okay. Well, that's easy for me to remember then. I can create a clip from the stream. And also, do not let your eyes deceive you. Yes, you are seeing him live and in color, Jose Blanco, and I may as well go into a little bit of detail as to how is it that he's here. Um, well, for one, there were several people that had a serious beef with him, but after a number of months and at the very least, a good friend of mine in well, two good friends of mine in uh, Chaos Reaper and uh, and uh, and Greg, aka Mythic Legends Wrestling. They did forgive him, and I'm happy that they did. Well, it just feels like a long time, really. But even so, it has been a long time, and now that doesn't mean that I condone what he did. I mean, he still. I would have to hope that the time away has helped him learn, not to do any of that stuff. Because I can only have, so much patience before I have to let somebody go. Now, while I understood that Jose was in a dark place at a time in his life, I just couldn't help him. There's no way that I myself, in good faith, could help him because there was really nothing I could do. He just had to help himself, and the only thing I could do was just give him time off to, just be with his family. That's really the only thing I could say. Like, and not just him, but also Brandon Cuevas, his half brother from the same mother. But even so, I've come to a point where I just have to forgive at some point. Because for as much as I crapped all over it, at some point, it just comes down to just being able to forgive is what it has to come down to. But that's all I'm going to talk about from this point onward. And okay. And also, do let me know if the stream starts to crap out. I hope it doesn't. for goodness sake. But I know that it had a couple of times, to say the least. So let me do that really quick. But we do have two teams left, or rather, two games, rather, I should say. Well, that's just the sad reality of it, Jose. I mean, I've been on both ends of where I had to forgive somebody, or I didn't, and I was also on the side uh, of whether I was even going to be forgiven or not, and I just had to live with the consequences. That's just what it came down to. But we have four teams, two games. We have the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears going at it on one side, and on the other, you have the New England Patriots hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. So, with this in mind, let's get some of the people involved here. Okay. I'm going to start off with... also, before I forget... Again, I realize that Greg and Blaze is doing their shows, and that's great, you know. Let me just let some of the people know. Right now, I'm just letting them know. So, this would be a good time to go get some snacks and get some drinks and whatnot. Then Tostitos, dipping sauces, and NFL on CBS. Yeah, I was also surprised that Gus Johnson came back, albeit he's working for Fox. And then let's see. The only other person I should get is Mr. Autism Rob. Let me get him. Wouldn't be surprised if Eli Manning commentated a game like Pat McAfee did at one point. Well, I mean, he kind of is somewhat doing that with brother Peyton. Also, did I move back to QB? No, not at this time. I could do that for next season / next game, Madden 22. So I'm fine with moving you back to QB for that season. But for the time being, you are an offensive lineman. Um, for the let me get my sheet here. But it's good to see you, Mr. DKO, and also DKO meet Jose Blanco, and Jose Blanco meet Power Cage DKO. But for short, just call him DKO. Let me see. Yeah, I have you as a center, but that's because you're on the New England Patriots that still has Tom Brady. So why would you want to replace him? You know. But I'll keep you in mind to move you back to QB for next season, if that's all right with you. Power KO, Power KO. Ha. But anyway, how's everything going, Mr. DKO? I apologize if I haven't gotten up too much on your stuff. I mean, of course, for those who don't know, you can check out Madden on the side. So if you like some Madden, go for it. Okay. Makes sense for my guy's brain at some point. I mean, we all start with something small. All right, now Blaze is doing a show, so I can't contact him, but I can contact the others. So let me just get Jen. So what's that? Okay. And then let me get Clinton. And then finally, one more person, and that is Elock, aka Cole Train Wesson.